Hi, I have always wanted a bidet in my bathroom, but I didn't happen to have an extra $3,000 or $4,000 laying around to have one put in. So these days, everyone offers the toilet top bidets, but you also have to have a power outlet next to the commode. And again, you have to have someone come in and install that for you. But they also have simpler versions of the toilet top bidets that they don't plug in, they're not electric. Sure, the water's going to be cold, but hey, it's still fresh water. So that's my project today. I've got one ordered, it's coming in, so I'm going to do the prep work for it. So when it gets here this afternoon, I can hurry up and install it and check it out. So the first step for me was to grab an old towel and a little small container to catch water that might drain out of the tank when we unhook the water line. The next step is make sure you have some Teflon tape, and then turn off your water line because you're going to have to, the bidet is going to be attached to this water line down here. So you're going to turn off the water and empty your tank. So I'm going to turn off the water by turning clockwise. That turns the water off, and then flush the tank. Once the tank empties, you need to use a sponge, a towel, or a cup, or whatever to get as much of that water out of the tank as you can. Ooh, look at that nice new hardware. Hey, look, this little cup works pretty good. Now that the tank's empty, I am going to unscrew the water line, and I'm sure that water is going to drip out of there. So I have the bucket. All right, and that was just hand tightened, so I didn't need a tool to take it off. All right, there it comes. So yeah, there's a little bit of water in there. It's just going in the bucket. So the T-valve that comes with the bidet top will get screwed onto this so that I can split the water line between the water coming in to the tank and then the water going into the bidet. Next step is to loosen these little nuts on the toilet seat so I can take that off. So if I remember right, it was a 1/2-inch wrench that worked on these bathroom fixtures. Yep, hallelujah. All right, so I'll loosen that one, then I'll go do the same to the other side and take the seat off. Okay, I figured out the lefty-loosey, righty-tighty thing. If I'm looking from the top and I'm loosening this nut, from up here, I'm turning it clockwise. But if you're looking at it from down there, I'm turning it counterclockwise. Ta-da! Figured it out, yay! All right, toilet seat's off. Now I just open the box for the bidet and get that installed. Gosh, look what's on my front porch. Okay, here it is, fresh out of the box. Let's see what we got. All right, I'm just gonna lay everything out of the box. So it's got the water thing. It's got the thing that goes on the tank. And it's got some instructions. All right, pretty easy. So the instructions say to use some Teflon tape and connect the adapter first. But before I even do that, I'm gonna make sure this thing is going to fit on my toilet bowl. So I'm just gonna come in here, put it on there, and yes, it looks like it'll fit, or it'll work. So, all right, that's the first thing. I just wanted to check that out. Okay, the T-valve is threaded with Teflon tape. Now I'm going to screw this into the bottom of the toilet tank. It says to be careful not to cross thread it or over tighten it. So I'm pretty sure it's on there straight, but I'm not exactly sure how to tell if it's not. I don't know, it's making me nervous now. So it says make sure it's level when it goes on. All right, it feels like it's level going on. I don't know how you know. All right, well, I'm just gonna keep screw it on. Don't over tighten it. All right, well, I don't know how much over tightening. I don't know what over tighten it. All right. Okay, so that's on there. Now I am going to hook up the water line. And then I'm going to hook the bidet nozzle or water line to this one. This is really all going together really easy. I'm pretty happy. And I'm not going to over tighten everything. I'm just going to see what happens when I turn the water on. All right, I might use a wrench to give that a half a turn. Okay. This kit came with these handy little plastic wrenches that worked just perfect for giving that a quarter of a turn. So the next step is to line this up and put the toilet seat back on. So you want to make sure that it's seated all the way back. And then these are, you just twist these to line them up. So I'm going to need both hands to twist those and line them up. Okay. I have the little dials twisted in so they are centered for each hole. And I'm holding it back so that the, whatever this thing is flush with the tank. And now I'm going to set the toilet seat back on and screw it on. Everything was going so perfectly. So here's the problem that I'm seeing is my toilet seat has these little plastic brackets that won't fit down inside the slat. So I think I'm going to have to take those off. I'm going to give that a try. All right, that was no big deal. They just unscrew. So I'm just going to unscrew these little caps off and then put it back on there and try it again. And that did the trick. Now they sit firmly in place. Now I just have to screw in from the bottom to attach it. What I'm actually doing is just putting the caps back on that came off the original toilet seat. Okay, so that was probably the trickiest part, was making sure that this was all the way back while you're tightening these up, and make sure that's all the way back as you're tightening the nuts to get the toilet seat back on. So it's solid. I've got it on there. I didn't over tighten it, but it's tight. And the seat still does its thing. It's one of those slow close. All right, I don't have the patience for that. All right, so that's done. So now I'm ready to hook up the water line to that. So, and then we turn the water on. Okay, well, it's all installed. The last step is to turn the water on. All right, cue the towels in the buckets. We'll see what happens here. All right, water's going on. I'm turning it on slow, and I don't know how high I really need to turn it on. I guess I'll just turn it like, I don't know how far. I don't know where it was. I don't know how far it'll go. I don't feel it. I don't see any leaks. Move the towel around just in case. All right. I don't feel any leaks there. This doesn't seem to be complaining too much about being tweaked that much. Everything's still dry. I don't know. I think that's just for tightening this. I don't feel any water leaking from there. Thing's still filling. All right, I'm not exactly sure how to test this. I need a test dummy. Okay, now to test it out. I don't know how I'm going to do this with one hand. I'm going to hang a towel in front of it. And I'm going to turn the knob on. See if I can hold the phone somehow without getting the phone wet. All right, I'm going to turn the knob on. I'm going to go really slow. It's coming out. There it goes. I guess it'll squirt as high as you want it to go. Yeah. Wow. You can have as much pressure. Now that was on the feminine nozzle. So now I'm going to turn it on the rear nozzle. That's this thing over here. Because it can be on for feminine or rear. So I've got it on rear now. I'm going to do the same thing. If I turn the nozzle on really slow, so you just turn it on, the little thing comes out, starts squirting water, and you can go as high as you want it, as much pressure as you want. It's cool. Well, it's a warm summer day, so it's kind of refreshing. It works. Anyway, pretty exciting. There you have it. So that's my review and installation of the Luxe non-electric Bidet 185. I think it's going to be kind of cool. And who doesn't want to feel fresh all day long? There is also some maintenance that you have to use to keep your bidet clean. So on the nozzle, you turn it to, it says nozzle clean, turn it to there, turn the water on, and it looks like it's just cleaning the nozzles, just like it says. And I think you're supposed to do that every time you use it. Now, I think this is cool because you can use it every time you use the restroom. It isn't just for when you have to, but for ladies, we can rinse off every time we use the restroom. I really like it. And yeah, it's a little cold, but it's not unbearable. Okay, so that is my installation and review of the non-electric cold water commode top bidet. I think it was well worth it. It was 43 bucks and it was easy to install. This is the second day now, so I've used it a little bit and I really like it. I think it was money well spent. So anyway, I hope you get something out of the video and thanks for watching.